What could you do to protect your pets if you're sick or injured? My product, Save My Pet ID tag, helps you ensure that your beloved pets are safe and well cared for, even when life isn't what you expect.
Hey, Robin, I'm betting many of our pet pals tuning in right now have experienced just that, where you're taking your dog for a walk and, here comes a loose dog heading your way. It's such a big issue that I think you've actually given a webinar on it. Can you talk about that?
Yeah, I have. It's one of the most common questions I get is, what do I do when a loose dog is coming up? And even for me, my dog that I have right now is actually friendly, but I've had reactive dogs. Doesn't seem to matter. It's fearful. It scares me when a dog is approaching us because you never know what that dog is going to be like. And then even more if you know your dog is not good with other dogs. So there are some things that you can do to help kind of mitigate things. Number one is I would learn about canine body language. That will probably help you to know, should you actually be nervous or is the dog actually friendly? That might help to start.
And I'm humbly trying to learn Spanish through, Duolingo, and I sound Italian, but I'm reading it. But you definitely have a PhD, Pretty Happy Dog, in You Speak Dog. And I think communication is the biggest thing. Everybody's coming out of COVID. They've got dogs. They want to do things. They want to get out and about. I know tell us the different things that you do that they can steer them to the roughly speaking dog, what it's about and why it's part of the Dog Gurus.
Absolutely. So the Dog Gurus really was founded on teaching canine body language primarily to pet care businesses. So we work with daycare and boarding facilities around the world to help them know how to keep dogs safe when they're doing off-leash play with those dogs. And great thing is it's stuff everybody can learn. And pet parents, we really want you to have a better way to communicate with your dog. So we started taking that knowledge from the Dog Gurus and put it together in a membership site at Roughly Speaking Dog, where you can learn about canine body language and just how to build a better bond with your dog, mostly through understanding how to read their body language, because it's really not that hard. And that will just...
Well, and I want to make sure people have the right spelling. It's RUFFLY, Speaking Dog.
Yep.
All right. I'm laughing. I have a degree in communications from Purdue, but I think I'm going to get schooled by Robin Bennett of Roughly Speaking Dog and the Dog Gurus. I think your program is long overdue because our dogs don't bluff. They're not going to win a poker game, are they?
They aren't. And there's so many ways you can be a better advocate for your dog. All the little miscommunications that sometimes happen between people and pets can be avoided if we just understand what they're saying. And they are very obvious once you learn just a few simple things that you can help to better understand your dog when you're out and about with them. And that translates to seeing another dog approaching yours. So hopefully that dog does not intend to do harm, but if you can read them, you can probably get a better sense of that and then take some action to hopefully prevent injury to yourself or to your dog if you're out for a walk with your dog.
So we're not going to spill all the beans because we want people to join your group. But this is really important because a dog fight, a dog bite, it not only has a physical scar, it can have an emotional scar on both the person and the dog. And they're reading our body language. So people are interested. Here we go, walking our dog on a leash. Give us a few do's and don'ts. Should we see a dog coming or should we back up and just say, what do we do on the walk to kind of, what should we bring? How do we get in the right mindset? Let's start with the start position.
Yeah, so I would say things to bring. Number one are treats. I love to bring treats when I walk my dog. I don't necessarily reward him all the time, but I do have treats available. But I also like treats because if I see a dog approaching me, one of the first things I will do if I see an off-leash dog is yell, sit or go home. Because most of these dogs that are loose are family pets. And most of the time, if you yell at them, they're going to be like, oh, I guess I shouldn't go up to her. Maybe I should go the other direction. So I do try to recommend that. Just yell, sit or go home. But my next option is that I will take a whole handful of treats out of my treat bag and I will throw them at that dog in the hope that that dog will say, whoa, there's like all this chicken on the ground now, and just gives me a little time to get away. And I don't want to run, but I want to quickly divert my direction to a different way so that I don't necessarily have to approach that oncoming dog. So, and hopefully
now your voice tone, because I go an octave lower, I go, hey, fit.
Exactly. It does matter.
So
the tone does matter.
If you're a soprano and you're going, the dog's like, oh, that's a wuss, right?
Right, exactly. You definitely want to sound angry. I mean, you want that dog to say, okay, not worth going up to her. She doesn't seem friendly. And we wouldn't normally.
Robin is, everybody. Robin really is.
Yeah, I am normally very friendly. But in this situation, I want to just do what's going to be best for my dog, especially if my dog doesn't like other dogs coming up. So I just want to try to mitigate that happening at all and just get that dog to steer away from me and go a different direction. And then the treats can help as well. I also recommend, if you're in a place where you encounter dogs all the time, sometimes having a small portable umbrella that pops open can be helpful, where you can just open it. Now, if you're going to do this, I would work with your dog first to make sure your dog is used to having that umbrella open away from him, but you're actually going to open it into the face of that oncoming dog, which for most dogs is going to startle them and they're going to be a little bit shaken and hopefully leave you alone.
Well, okay, Mary Poppins. It's going to also create a visual barrier, which also may help tone down if it's a big bad dog coming or something. I mean, I see a Mary Poppins come out and have an umbrella pop open to me. That's a startle. What's happening in the mind of that dog coming your way?
Well, that is going to startle them. That's exactly what's going to happen, and you can hopefully push that dog and sort of, not without touching him, push him a little bit backwards, because he's going to be like, whoa, what in the world was that? Because he doesn't know what that is. But like I said, you also want to make sure before you use that tool that your dog is used to it, because otherwise you're going to scare your dog.
Yeah, they're going to piddle down the leg. Yeah,
exactly. I've even seen people that use umbrellas that have like an image on it. They open it up and it looks like a frog head or a penguin or whatever, which probably would even be more startling to that dog that's seen.
I have led an isolated life. Oh my gosh. Give us a tip. We got about a minute before the break. What's a good tip you can share to help people with their own dog to be conditioned that this is nothing scary for you? This is our little umbrella barrier.
I would start with just having that umbrella open and carrying it around with your dog, walking with your dog, giving your dog treats, making it a fun game, and then gradually work up to having it open near your dog, but maybe not right next to him. So maybe your dog's like a foot behind you and you open it up and toss treats. And then you just work up to where that just becomes a big game of your dog. Every time that umbrella opens, they get lots of treats or lots of play or lots of petting, until the dog just starts to think, this is just a normal thing that happens.
So you can kind of attach it to your jeans or something. How would you almost look like a gunslinger, right?
That's what I would do. I would get one of the smaller ones and one that has a button so that you just can push the button and it opens up.
Oh my gosh. Hey, I'm already getting schooled in a great way with one of the co-founders of the Dog Gurus. We're talking Robin Bennett. And I want you all to check out, it's thedoggurus.com, correct?
That's correct.
Thanks so much for making our tails wag by watching this guest interview from Arden Moore's Four-Legged Life.
Four-Legged Life.
Make sure to subscribe so you're up to date with all of our Four-Legged Life content.
Four-Legged Life. Four-Legged Life.